I was so angry having to leave home like that and transfer again or be in a hole again. At this point, I've been in prison from probably November, somewhere around November, October, November. Besides my DVI's reception experience, I've been a general population mainline inmate for 7 months. And in that 7 month period, I've spent 4 of it in administrative segregation over kites that got dropped on me and confidential information, and had repeated conflict. So what I did was, like, when I got off that bus, my psychology was anybody with something to say, it's going down. Like off the bat, I just was tripping. I was tripping. I'm taking fades. I want your fade immediately. It ain't nothing to talk about. If I heard something with my name in it, I was going to see who said it was happening. If there's a problem, let it be a problem right now. I didn't want to go through none of that bullshit again. So it technically fucked me up in terms of how I went out and projected myself. And I technically think that made it worse. It made it worse because I was considered even more of a problem for that administration at that point. Really, I was trying to make it where that wasn't the case, but it just made it worse. And so I get to Salinas Valley and rock and roll for damn near 3 years straight. Just funk, seg, funk, seg, funk, seg. And by this time, I'm already trying to make music again.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, they had a studio at Folsom. I wanted to be at Folsom. I wanted to be in that studio. I wanted to be close to home.
Dang, that's crazy. They had a studio in that jank too.
Yeah, man. It was. Hey, bro. I know there's a certain time limit for certain races to be on that yard. Specifically, I know Southsiders have a time limit. They got to get off to be off that yard. They got to get cracking. They got to take flight. I know whites got to take flight to get off that yard. Blacks didn't have that mandate. There was no issue. And Northerners didn't have that mandate because it was their prison.
Yeah.
So blacks and Northerners could do their thing. And in my opinion, as it came later where people started talking about what their feelings was when the concept of S&Y came into play in 2000, like almost 5 years later, I think this is where that dishonesty comes into play between active general population inmates and people who talk shit about S&Ys, because they all know that there's soft yards all over the state of California that they wanted to go to and didn't have a name, but were essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're hypocritical.
Well, I'm hearing a lot that the S&Y yards, man, could be pretty damn crazy, man, because there ain't too much politics in there, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of cutthroat.
I think the absence of politics is a politic. I think that anarchy is a political, disposition. And so I think that the politics is anarchy.
Yeah.
And wake up and do whatever you want to do without consequences from a group. Anything you want to do. And that's anarchy.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Because over here, man, the East Coast, this is what it was, man. I didn't have nobody telling me to do burpees. I didn't have nobody. I did have people ask me to click up and stuff, but it wasn't, I did my shit lone wolf. And it's, that was one of the first things that really fascinated me, man, because me doing time over here on the East Coast, I thought that's what it was. You know what I mean? I thought it was like nationwide type shit. I mean, I seen movies on California and shit. I'm like, man. But since I started doing this channel, that's one thing right there, man. It's a whole different world out there in California, my friend. You know what I mean? It's crazy as shit, man. They got a lot of stuff going on out there in the justice system.
Yeah, they do. They do. It's virtually impossible to be a lone wolf in the state of California.
That's what I hear.
Especially now with integration. Even back then, being a mainline, GP, all these terms are all bullshit. None of them even exist no more. Everybody's general population. General population is a title placed on everybody. If you on a EOP yard, the population is an EOP population, which is extensive outpatient mental program.
Okay.
They still have a general population body. So the only way to not be general pop is to be administrative segregation. If you've been removed from the facility and placed in a SHU, then your classification changes and you're no longer a member of the general population of CDCR. So that's that term. I'm GP. Every fucking body convicted of a crime in the state of California that enters the state system is general population. Everybody, unless you're in administrative segregation and you're part of that population. So
Yeah,
that terminology is wrong. And so they mainline is more of a differentiation
yeah,
between what they consider to be S and Y versus mainline. So you have those yards, but S and Y's population is still a general population. If you get took off that yard and put in a hole, you've been removed from general population and placed in administrative segregation. So
yeah,
this term, all the terminology that people use is bullshit, and they know it's bullshit, but they still say it. But now it don't matter because integration has created a situation where there's no such thing as S and Y in the state of California.
yeah,
There's no such thing as that no more. You either you're general population or you administratively segregated or you in a security housing unit, D1 status. So
yeah,
no matter what nobody say, they could all of them come use these terms so that they can have some type of influence. The human being, when all things are unequal, the human being will use words to equalize himself. They do that with people who crack jokes. They do that with people. You got money, but I ain't got no money. You pull up in a nice car. The person without the nice car is gonna say something to try to equalize himself. He gonna
yeah,
make some type of statement about himself, so he don't gotta feel bad about this person having a better car. Even just on that level, the human being will always seek to equalize himself because embarrassment is a real thing. You know, people have pride is a real thing. And so we manufacture these reasons to have pride and be proud because we ain't proud to just be human beings. We ain't reached that level of enlightenment yet where it's good enough for me to be. Look, if they found a child with autism or some type of mental challenge on Mars, he'd be the greatest discovery in the history of the universe
yeah,
because being a human being in and of itself is already special. It's something to be proud of already, but
yeah,
we don't have that perspective. We don't understand that I could value your existence. The fact that you exist is amazing. We can't find one of you anywhere else in the known universe.
yeah.
That's amazing.
It is amazing, man. But no one gives two shits about it, man. You know. But
They
we
don't.
I see shit like that, and it's amazing, man. You
It
know,
is.
down to damn butterflies and their little camouflage on their wings, man. Nothing's the same. They're all different. They're all perfect. You know, it's
Life is
amazing.
amazing. Life
It
is
is.
amazing. But we don't have that perspective, and we're not teaching that perspective. I don't know if we're teaching it for our children to understand that the blessing, the miracle of existence as a human being and the existence of any other creature, this is a fucking miracle, planet for planet, galaxy for galaxy, that this is a miracle and that their existence is something to be proud of and that it's a blessing. So until we could get that through to people, then we always gonna have a situation where people seek other means to be proud to exist. Either I'm proud of my race, I
Yeah.
exist. I'm proud I'm in this gang, so I exist. I'm proud I'm mainline, and I'm you gonna respect it. And it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Yeah. I say it all the time, man. Especially when it comes to prison, man. It's a bunch of bullshit, man. You know. It's a
It
bunch
is.
of damn. I talk about prison every day, but look, it helps me keep on that straight and narrow. At the same time, I'm a family man now, and I'm looking at my shit from the past, and prison and everything with it. It's a bunch of bullshit, man. It's for the birds. Nothing about it is good.
Nothing
Nothing. You don't get no
whatsoever.
kind of stripes from. You might get it when you're young in the streets. Going to prison or whatever. Making it through something. But when you get past a certain age, none of that shit matters at all, man. None of it.
That doesn't.
But you do learn some good shit from going to prison, man.
I
You
think
learn.
I think you do, but what I've figured out is the learning adversity is an amazing teacher. If we listen to a person who had cancer and survived cancer, if we listen to them speak, there's going to be a certain enlightenment in their conversation, a
Yeah,
certain development because the adversity, the survival is going to transform their perspective about life. People who survived war, people who survived the Holocaust, people who survived the slaves who got free and wrote. these people express this certain degree of awareness as a result of the acceptance of their trauma and then their ability to overcome it and communicate how they overcame it. It creates a higher development. So I think that what our brothers are currently and formerly incarcerated brothers who haven't done something with themselves, what they don't understand is that the experience, the trauma that they had, it was a trauma. It
Yeah.
was a trauma. It was a negative experience that occurred to them based on forces, policies, everything that they just couldn't have ever imagined. And we talking about significantly a group of people who, from Cortez on, when it comes to the Latin community and Mexican community in our California state prisons, what has they've been through politically as a people before you
Hmm.
even reach the prison, and the fact that the way the prison system itself was designed was just another piece of that thing that had happened to them from Cortez to now. The same was true for my people. So we don't have an understanding that we connected to that trauma in a way that's greater than something to be proud of as a stripe of I went to it. It's how did I go to it? How did I go through it? Why did this trap exist for me to fall into from the education system, all of it, to understand that this is a trauma? So I think prison only really afforded us an opportunity to experience our adversity, persevere that
Yeah.
adversity, and then that was our cancer. That
Yeah.
was our Holocaust. That was our experience that allowed some of us to develop into conscious human beings who woke their game up and now reach out and hopefully do the same for our brothers and sisters that are still currently incarcerated and formerly incarcerated but dealing with the parole system. So I applaud you for what you're doing. I've been watching. I told you privately, I tell you publicly, I really respect your perspective, and I think it's
Thank you, man.
valuable, man. It's incredibly valuable that your perspective be presented to the people, because otherwise, man, they're gonna hear these tough guys bragging about how hardcore they are because they survived and or they experienced prison and came home and started a YouTube channel and so they could run a fat mouth about how tough they are and how not tough someone else is. And all this does is perpetuate the cycle to put more people back in prison if they believe in that bullshit.
Yeah, that's it. And yeah, man, going through going through trials and tribulations and stuff, man, it really does open your eyes up to a whole new perspective on things. But let me ask you this, man. Let's change the serious note. Let me ask you something that might bring a smile to your face, man. And
I need it.
a lot of people ask this question, man. And you're the best person to ask, man. What's up with white Crips, man?
Hey, I had some white Crips that was the homies. I mean, I
Yeah,
still know several of them. You know what I mean? I've seen, man, they got it hard. I've hardly ever seen anybody have it harder than white Crips and Bloods.
yeah,
Anybody. I've never seen anybody have it harder. And that's no disrespect to black members of uh, the North or the South, or remember I've heard
yeah,
rumors of ghosts that was members of other stuff, but that's I don't
yeah,
that's Bigfoot and the Yeti as far as
yeah,
I'm concerned. You know what I mean? But I know there's some legitimacy to it. But very rarely do you have a group of people who are literally under attack for what they represent by an entire group of people who
yeah,
view them as an aberration. Like, the black Southsider doesn't necessarily have blacks trying to get him for
yeah,
being a Southsider. The blacks are more like, well, fuck him, then. That's what he want to represent. Fuck him. But
yeah,
they're not technically trying to knock him down specifically for being a part of that. It's like that's on you, and what you experience with them is on you. Whereas white, Crip, or Blood, everywhere they go, 100% of the time, there's going to be some. I mean, they're damn near the whole race saying you got to either come home or you got to go.
And you talking about so his fellow whites are they gonna get him?
Yes.
They can tighten it up or get him up out of there.
Well, they're
Uh,
gonna. I don't know about that. They're gonna make the threat. They
yeah,
gonna
the threat,
present.
the threat.
They gonna present that. And I mean, when I say threat in that environment, The threat is literally presented with great respect and
Yeah.
seriousness. These dudes ain't no, you know what I mean? They ain't
Yeah.
no soft dudes. I try to tell people, hey man, we don't have to demonize a group of people or call them cowards or whatever because they represent something. So I could tell you unequivocally that these are some of the hardest men I'd ever seen. It's warriors.
Yeah.
Warriors believe they Spartans, dead serious. So they walk up very respectfully, excuse me, we need to have a conversation with such and such. And so it's either you got to let him speak up for himself because don't nobody want to fight for who won't fight for themselves. I've been in two riots over white Crips being on the yard, literally two of them. And, they come, they say what they got to say. You expect that person is going to say what they got to say. Hey, man, I'm not going nowhere. And it's Crip. You can do what you want to do. Get cracking. And they say, thank you, and they go relay that back to their leadership.
Thank you,
And
sir.
yeah, very respectfully. It ain't they don't say nothing crazy, stupid,
Yeah. And that's
And
scary. That's a scarier way to hear it. You know what I mean? If you ask me.
yeah, it's certainly more gangster. And they would have their hands behind their back, be standing there, and you can see their group, and they speak it for them. And then they go back and relay it, and you see the way they change the way they move, and it's like, bro, they're gonna make a move on you. Got to be prepared what's happening. And if that individual support itself, then everybody gonna support them. But the politics that nobody want to talk about is they get tired of that shit. So everybody gotta support you because you followed the rules. He stated his neighborhood. He said his affiliation. He refused to bow down. But because he did those three things, you either gotta help him or you a bitch too.
Yeah.
And so now people gotta help you, but they feel resentment because man, I got a visit coming. Man, I want to go to the store. I got canteen. I got packages. I'm trying to get a family visit. Man, I'm trying to go home. So they can't really express that because it's not the G code. It's not G. You supposed to have this dude's back, but the same people who had to have your back end up hating you for having to have your back.
Yeah.
And so I could relate to that. Being a famous rapper on mainline yards, I experienced that same thing, very similar to a white Crip. So I was always empathetic toward white Crips because I felt like this. I had a similar experience when it came to politics. People were tired of having to ride over me. They were tired of, but they had to do it because my representation was 100. So you gotta support me, or you look funny style. Like this dude ain't do nothing but represent Crip to the fullest of his capability, and in exchange for that, y'all didn't have his back. And so don't nobody want to say that about themselves. That's literally G. So they gotta support you, but then they gonna pick you apart so they could find a way out of it.
Yeah.
They're gonna find any way they could get out of it. And so it was hard for them. It was hard. And some of the hardest motherfuckers I ever met with white Crips and Bloods. Some of the hardest motherfuckers I ever met
Yeah.
during my
I
time.
I've said that before, man. Even over here, they have a rough time, especially the Bloods, man. The white Bloods, they get it. From what I've seen, they had it the worst. Uh, but yeah, man, they some damn soldiers though. If they stick through it, those guys they done did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, every last one of them I know that survived it is a battle ready monster. It's
Yeah.
funny because you'll have people with opinions. I'm like, bro, this dude that survived, I guarantee you, one on one, you're gonna be concerned, locked in a room with him with an issue. I can't tell you how much stuff I'll turn down. Your energy, your presentation, the way that you handle your business, the way you treat people, man, and the underlying motivation you have to uplift people and educate them beyond just the glorification of this experience, man, is highly commendable. And anybody representing in that way, I'm gonna stand with them.
Damn right, man. If I ever come out California, man, I'm gonna hit you. You guys show me a night out in town, dog.
That's what I will do. Yeah, hop in the Beamer, we can whip around.
Hey,
I
yeah,
know
man.
everywhere to go. I know where to go. We can
I
kick
know
it.
that's right, man. Well, yeah, man. Look, just keep doing your thing. Oh, before we leave, man, give the people a little bit information on how they can follow you or what you got going on right now.
All right. It's your boy X Rated, man. You can find me on YouTube on the channel. It's official X Rated, XRAIDED. If you're looking for me on Instagram, it's official X Rated 1. Across the board, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, official X Rated. Look it up, tap in with your boy, man. California Dreaming album available now, and it's slap. Go check it out.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to follow him, I'm gonna leave all this stuff pinned in the comment section, description of the video for y'all to do so. And look, man, once again, it was a pleasure, man. I'm looking forward to chatting up with you again for part 2.
That's what's up, man. I'm there.
All right, buddy. You have a good New Year's and
Yeah.
stay free, man. Stay low, you know.